We've been sitting in the dark for about the last 36 hours, but head coach John Harbaugh finally provided an update on the injury status of wide receiver 1, Zay Flowers. That's what we're talking about on today's show. You're watching Ravens Rundown. I'm your guy, Joey Petersen. And guys, look, if you want Zay Flowers back, as much as I do, if you want to see him this upcoming Saturday in the wild card round of the playoffs, I need you to do me a favor and like today's video. Send a message, show me, show all the players, all the fans, show everybody that you want him back. Hit that thumbs up button. So, during today's, online press conference, John Harbaugh provided an update. This tweet coming from Sarah Ellison saying, John Harbaugh on Zay Flowers' knee. It's not a season-ending injury. It's going to be day to day, and him doing everything he can to get back as soon as he can. Jeff Strayback followed up that tweet with one of his own, pretty much saying some of the same things at the front end. We're going to skip a little bit. So basically said he's day to day. Flowers going to work as hard as he can to get back. Didn't have an update on his availability for Saturday. It's his knee. He wouldn't confirm if it was a sprain. And you know what, guys? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm having a little bit of trouble deciphering this one, okay? I think it's a bit of good news that he's day to day. I think it's a bit of good news that he's going to say he's going to work as hard to get back as soon as he can. But the fact that they're not really disclosing what this injury is, and the fact that they really didn't have that much of a status for his availability on Saturday, that kind of all leads me to think that this might be a little bit of bad news, okay? So there's good parts to it, but there's also bad parts to it. But I think over anything, more than anything, I should say, I'm just happy that we have something, okay? Harbaugh spoke to the media after the game on Saturday night and said that we'll know more after the MRI on Sunday. So we all, myself included, waited around very patiently, refreshing our Twitter feeds, waiting for any kind of an update on his injury status after the MRI. Heard nothing. Radio silence yesterday from the entirety of everybody who covers the Baltimore Ravens. And then today, John Harbaugh finally made the announcement. Okay, so I don't know if they were waiting on the press conference to announce something. I don't know if the MRI results they got yesterday, they said, okay, let's push this announcement back just a little bit more. I can't imagine he got an MRI later than he was supposed to. But regardless, this update, where we're sitting right now, kind of has me in the middle, okay? But I know you're not in the middle on who you want to win on Saturday night. We got Steelers. We got Ravens. The NFL's best rivalry game is now a do-or-die moment in the playoffs. We're taking on Steelers talk in a sub-battle this week. And if you want to dominate them on Saturday night, we also want to dominate them right here in the YouTube space. They currently got a 15-sub lead on us for this week. So do your part. Let's take down the Steelers and hit that subscribe button. If I had to guess, I would probably say he's not playing on Saturday. I think that, and I get there's a whole like keeping the cards close to the vest thing, but I think if it was a little bit more positive news, I think that Harbaugh would maybe want to calm the waters a little bit and give just a little bit more optimism to the update than he did. So if I had to put a bet on it, I would say he's not going to play. I still think there's a chance, but I would lean towards not, and it's a shame. Because what he was able to do against Pittsburgh the last time these two teams faced off was amazing. 5 catches, 100 yards, 20 yards a catch. His longest was 49 on the day, okay? And so it's been obvious that this is a team that relies heavily on him as the number 1 pass catcher. Leads this team in receiving yards, hasn't found the end zone that much, but it just shows that he's a guy like Lamar likes to go to early on in drives. He's a guy that Lamar likes to hit in those intermediate routes. He's so good in the run after catch, and that's why everybody, including myself, hearts just sunk on Saturday when we saw that. We saw him hit the turf. We saw him grab the knee. Now, it is a silver lining. He wasn't grabbing the back of it, and it is a silver lining that they announced today. It wasn't anything like ACL or MCL, but still. Okay, so with Zay Flowers possibly out of the lineup for Saturday against Pittsburgh, there's a couple guys that I need to step up, okay? Rashad Bateman, Isaiah Likely, and Justice Hill. Rashad Bateman, this is an easy one. He's been the wide receiver 2 on this roster for the entirety of the season. I need him to step up because he's going to now have to fill that wide receiver 1 role. Isaiah Likely, He went on the scene, flashed heavily in that Week 1 matchup against Kansas City. I don't want to say he's fallen off, but his production has definitely dipped since then. However, these last couple of games, he's had a couple of great catches, a couple of great runs after the catch. He's shown that he has the ability to be an asset in this offense. I'm going to need him to step up. And then also Justice Hill. And John Harbaugh spoke today and said that he feels very optimistic about both Justice Hill and Patrick McCarry playing on Saturday against the Steelers. He is one of the best pass-catching options we have out of the backfield, okay? It's obvious. We've seen it all season long. What he can do on just a 5-yard check down or a screen route is absolutely electric, okay? And so those three guys, I know you don't see the Mark Andrews of the world on here, right? That's too obvious. I know you don't see Derrick Henry. That's too obvious. Those guys have risen to the occasion all season long. We expect that out of them. These three guys, I need to see a massive step up because someone's got to fill in for that production. The good thing is John Harbaugh agrees and thinks that Rashad Bateman's a guy who can't do it. This is what he had to say. He said, he's always been high on my list. He's always been a tremendous player. Athlete, competitor, excellent wide receiver. He's been playing at a high level all year. He made big plays for us in that game last week. He was a factor in getting us into scoring position numbers of times. And it's not just Rashad. We have a lot of weapons. And that's true, okay? This team does have a lot of weapons. But the weapons aren't useful unless the weapons step up and make themselves useful, okay? So that's what I need to see. Rashad Bateman, Isaiah Likely, Justice Hill, do your part this weekend. Do more than your part. We need more out of you if Zay Flowers is not going to be in the lineup. If you guys want to be in attendance for this game this upcoming weekend against the Pittsburgh Steelers, then I reckon you use our friends over at Game Time. It's the easiest place to go, easiest app to use. And today's show is sponsored by Game Time. The new year brings a lot of great things. Friends, food, celebration, but most importantly, the playoffs. And there's nothing that can quite compare to the rush and excitement you feel watching your team win a playoff game either at home or on the road. And if you want to have that memory for the rest of your life, that's where Game Time can help out. Game Time has an awesome feature. It's called Game Time Picks, and that makes getting tickets to your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, which are the highest value seats at the time. For some events, Game Time Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. And guys, again, it's playoff time, and this is where memories are made. I'll never forget this for the rest of my life. My dad, my grandpa, my uncle, and I, we went to go see the Texas Rangers clinch their first ever World Series. I was 11 years old, and I remember that day vividly. So if you want to build playoff memories with your friends, with your family, then go ahead, use the Game Time app and use code ChatSports and get to M&T Bank Stadium this weekend. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and redeem code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. So like we said earlier, it's time for these three to step up. And their production has been awesome this entire season. Nothing I can complain about. We see Rashad Bateman, 45 catches, 756 yards, 9 touchdowns, leading the team in receiving touchdowns for wide receivers, that is. Isaiah Likely, 42 catches, 477 for 6. And then Justice Hill, as a running back, 42 catches, just 3 less than the wide receiver 2 on this roster, almost 400 yards. He's found the end zone 3 times, receiving the ball as well. I feel really good about these 3 options, okay? But I do question whether or not they'll be able to step up with Zay's attention being taken away, okay? A lot of times when teams are preparing to defend against this team, they say, okay, number 1, we need to take away Derrick Henry. Number 2, you got to take away Zay Flowers. So without Zay Flowers being out there in the lineup, without him occupying their cornerback 1, without him occupying a lot of that defensive attention, with that being shifted to a guy like Rashad Bateman, will they still have success? Okay? Regardless of those 3 guys, though, Derrick Henry's going to have a huge day. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, okay? And this is the moment where you look at a guy like Eric DeCosta, you look at John Harbaugh, this entire front office, and you say, this is the reason we brought this guy in. This is the reason this guy is on this team. to do things like this, to perform in moments like this, and he's been doing it against Pittsburgh all year long. The 2 games against Pittsburgh, 37 carries, 227 yards. That's what? I'm no math wizard. 113.5 yards a game, 6.13 yards per carry, and a touchdown. That needs to continue, okay? We need another big game out of him. And the good news with that is that he's on the best 3-game stretch of this season so far. Against Pittsburgh, just 3 weeks ago, 24 carries, 162 yards. Against Houston, 27 carries, 147 yards, and a touchdown. Then against Cleveland, 20 carries, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's gone for over 130 yards in each of the last 3 games, over 20 carries in each of the last 3 games, and 3 touchdowns to show for it, okay? So I got a question for you guys. Let's play Vegas a little bit right here, okay? Play the odds. 18.5 carries for Derrick Henry against Pittsburgh. Think he goes over that, or do you think he goes under that? Let me know in the comment section down below. Type O for over or type U for under. And guys, it might take just kind of to round this whole thing out. With this team's wide receiver 1 out of the lineup, everybody on this team, both on the offensive side of the ball and on the defensive side of the ball, must step up, okay? And again, it's not a guarantee that Zay is out of the lineup. But even if he is, he's not going to be 100%. So every single person on this team needs to step up. And a lot of times we see this happen in sports. The starting quarterback goes down. You just saw it happen with the Georgia Bulldogs when they played Texas in the SEC Championship. They're down at half, their starting quarterback goes out, and everyone rallies around the backup. Okay? Well, your wide receiver 1 might not be playing. It's time for every single person, both on offense and defense, to rally around this team, step up, and make some plays, because there'll be plays needed to make this Saturday against the Steelers. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Really appreciate it. So excited for this weekend against the Steelers. We're going to be here for around-the-clock coverage on your favorite team. So if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button.